Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30 this Monday, May 11th, and it's time to wrap it up. And all right, so we run out of gas to the upside. We're down here testing the mean right now. We'll see if they can hold the mean. If they hold the mean, we're still in good shape to stay high, stay on the long side of this. We'll see where they end up actually closing. Now, if they start taking out the lows and close within this range, I would start thinking that maybe they cut off the buying today. That's kind of the what comes to mind. But so far, as long as I hold this level, the 72.25, the 25s, I would stay on the long side. Yeah, down here buying against this lower area. I tried a long trade here not too long ago. After that first bounce of the mean, figured out okay, they may squeeze this to the upside a little bit further, but it didn't go very far. It was just stalling, and you can tell how slow this is. I figured I just aggressively moved my stop up a bit, and they knocked me out and just headed lower. And that's what I'm saying. I didn't want to be too gloomy about it, but I would have been repairing it at the mean and sitting in a pretty big trade by now and not going anywhere. So glad I took myself out of that one. But so it's so far three trades. The first one I had this morning was obviously the one which you wish you could have stuck in, but as I said, early on here, I got short on that first retest, had to fade some heat, got out of it when I got a shot at it, and just to see it run all the way back to the mean almost. Could have been a beautiful trade, but it doesn't matter because it's if I fade too much heat, the rule is to get out of the trade instead of trying to be cute about it. Now, sometimes it goes like this. Sometimes it just keeps going higher. So you just never know. I tried a long trade on the pullback here, didn't go anywhere, got shaken out of that one, and then I tried the this one last one, and that was moved my stop aggressively and got taken out. So that was it. So three trades, four contracts, and pretty much up 750. So commissions only. We'll see if they looks to me like the mean is holding though. So staying on the long side for now, looking to buy weakness, 74.25, 74.10s down to the 74.00s and 73.90s. So those are the levels for the overnight. Below the 73.90s, that would be the session lows. I would be taking off that long bias and going back range bound. But pretty good, spectacular day on some of these, both crypto and quantum stocks doing well today. On the Nasdaq, also pretty good move to the upside, extended, but didn't quite make a big splash out of it. I tried a couple of trades on the pullback after this afternoon selling. After this rotation down when they ran it almost down here in D period, on the way back up here, I tried a short against the mode, I tried a short against the midpoint. Both of them were going to break even and then knocked me out. They kept going to the upside. So I didn't try it after that. It felt like it was a little bit too volatile. So I'm trying to get short against this upper area. Yeah, why not? But when it goes that far, I mean, it could really always go up to that initial balance high, maybe higher. That would have been a trade to look for. And you had one shot there. Let me see here. That was, oh, come on. There you go. You had one shot up here in the initial balance, and then of course the next time to it they kind of took it out, and then they had a hard retracement. So pretty sloppy trading on the Nasdaq, I had to say. So I stopped trading it. It felt like it was just a recipe for getting yourself caught in something. But they did extend, so both ES and Nasdaq did extend to the upside. Hence, we are still in stage one, still extending to the upside. All right. So on the Nasdaq, I'm going to be looking at buying against the 350s, the 260s, and the 225, 230s here for rotations back up. And again, not going to be super aggressive on the short side. I'm looking for opportunities when they retest, failing to take it higher for small rotations down. It's a good trade location, but don't expect big trades out of it. Looking at the bonds, and I was super close of hopping on a trade on that guy. I'll show you what I was thinking about. So on the bonds, it was done here at the 31s. So they were down here in the 2 o'clock hour, retesting it. But as you can say, they only had 190 contracts traded on that one before it starts trading higher. So you really had to fill at the 113 to get in on that trade. And it actually, I was thinking that they were trying to grind this lower, so I didn't try to be super aggressive on it. But it did kind of set up. I would say it's like not the perfect setup. You would like to have an entry at the 31s, but so I didn't do much with it. I just kind of looked at it, and then they bounced a little bit, and then they were right back down again. So it would have been pretty much a scratch if anything. So that's about it on the bonds. I would just stay range bound again. I would probably favor the short shot on the bond. Look to sell strength against the 1306s and the 1312 to 13s for rotations down. And if they trade above that, I would probably start thinking retracement up here towards that 113.20. Finally, on the crypto, so I only took that one trade on silver this morning. It kind of didn't have, kind of was pretty sloppy and pretty quick. So you can see it over here. This is the morning trade. And I got to break even, got shaken out, skidded 10 ticks, and then it took it higher. So and to work that in my favor, even if it didn't quite fill you where you want to be. That's what it is. When it moves like this violently, it just freaking skids you really hard. So, but that's it. I mean, it's only 48,000 contracts traded on silver on the Coinbase right now. So yeah, it's not a heavily traded contract. As time goes on, those contracts are going to be a lot more potent and a lot more busy, and which is going to make them a lot better to trade. But right now, this is where we are. All right, back to the ES and the Nasdaq, and so far, all right. So they're holding on to the mean, heading back down here to test the mean. We'll see where they end up closing, but as long as if they can hold the mean here on the 350s on the Nasdaq and the 725 on the ES, I think we're in good shape to stay on the long side. Otherwise, I would just go back range bound. Now, news for tomorrow. We get a little bit going on. We have CPI, or we have a business optimism index at 6, CPI at 8:30, and a 10-year auction at 1. The CPI number is going to be interesting. Should show some impact of that oil price increase. Should start coming through the CPI, I would think. But anyway, so a bad print on that one could certainly put the take the market, put the market in a bad mood, and maybe even create a little bit of a risk-off day tomorrow. We will see. Anyway, we'll wrap it there, guys. I'll see you back bright and early in the morning. So only these two trades, a few trades on ES and Nasdaq, just shakeouts and scratches. So there's nothing much to show for it. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. I'll see you back at 8 in the morning tomorrow later.